as promised, I want to teach you how to do the stacked single crochet and the standing double crochet. Both of these are good substitutes for that chain 2 that you do at the beginning of double crochet rows. Right here I went ahead and just did a chain 2 so you can see it just looks curved, it doesn't look very neat, but I'm just going to teach you a substitute to that. So at the end here I have not chained or anything, I just finished my row. And I'm going to show you the stacked single crochet first. You start by flipping your work. Then you work a single crochet into that first stitch there. So into this stitch right here, you do a single crochet. Then after that, we're going to work another single crochet into this one by going into this little strip right here. See, this kind of looks like a V shape of the two pieces of this single crochet. You're going to work in this left one. Just get in there, then you do another single crochet. And then you can just continue your row as normal. I'm just going to do a couple more double crochets so we can see it in context. And then it's a little bit straighter. You can kind of pull it up a little bit, as when you come back with your next row, it'll pull it up a little bit more anyway. And there, that looks a good bit straighter than this like rounded edge over here. So that is the stacked single crochet. Now let's do the standing double crochet. You start out the same way. You've just finished your row. You flip your work and you pull this stitch out. This loop that's on your hook now should be really big. So now this part is very important. You have to hold this loop very tightly and you wrap around. Now you have 2 loops of that one loop that you had on your hook. If you aren't holding on tight with this finger, it'll just untwist and become that one loop again. So you have to hold this very, very tight. Now we've got our 2 loops. Then we go into our stitch, yarn over. We're just working this as a double crochet. And make sure you're still holding your finger tight on that loop this whole time. Now we're down at the last part, and there you go. So then you can just continue in the rows again. I'll just work a couple. And now we've got our standing double crochet, which is also a good bit straighter than the chain 2. I especially like the standing double crochet when I'm working in rounds. I think it helps blend in a lot more than the chain 2, because a chain 2 just doesn't really look like a double crochet, but a standing double crochet does. It's got a very similar pattern to it. So that is how you do both of those. I hope this video was helpful for you. If anything was unclear, of course, as always, comment below. I'd love to answer any questions. I hope you have a great rest of your day.